Hi everyone, welcome to our latest video. Really pleased to be able to show you today this absolutely gorgeous and immaculate Suzuki GSXR 750Y. Now those of you that know your Suzukis will appreciate that this was the first of the models that superseded the GSXR 750 SRAD, which by themselves have already reached a classic and cult status. And this isn't far behind. You'll see she's a 2001 Y-Reg, and unbelievably she's covered just 4,500 miles, and in fact the odometer currently reads exactly that, 4,500 miles. Now a little bit of history about the bike. She was originally bought as a normal everyday road bike by the first owner. And to date, despite being 17 years old, she's had 2 owners from new. The first owner kept this beauty for 16 years, although she was off the road from 2010 through to February 2017, as she formed part of the first owner's collection. And then back in February 2017 she had a recommissioning service before being purchased by one of our existing customers, who has decided to thin out his own collection due to some lifestyle changes. And I have to say, we are the extremely grateful recipients of possibly one of the best examples of this bike available today. Again, those of you that know what you're looking at will see that she is largely a standard bike, though she is fitted with a data tool alarm. But the condition can only be described as impressive. Really beautiful bike. So I'll say she was serviced February 2017. That was a recommissioning service where she had oil and filter and new plugs. And we've just serviced the bike again with fresh oil and filter. We've replaced the coolant, the brake fluid and the fork oil. So for example, if this bike was to be used as an everyday bike, or you know, a usable sports bike, what a fantastic bike. You've got all the sort of low weight and handling characteristics of a 600. But as MCN describe it, you've got most of the usable power of a 1000cc machine. And this particular model has a claimed top speed of 171 miles an hour. And again, some of the reviews describe it as being near perfect on road and track. And that is some accolade, I have to say. Now I know I won't be alone when I struggle to even consider that this bike could be 17 years old, because I remember when these were brand new. So I would imagine anyone from the age of 40 and above will have remembered these when they were brand new, or maybe even had one themselves. So condition wise, let's take you around the bike and do some close-ups. You would have seen obviously numerous photographs both on our eBay listing, Motorcycle News and website, but I think I actually think there's probably more photos on our Facebook page, in fairness. So have a good look at all the photos and you'll see just how clean she is. But this is all original paintwork, absolutely unmarked fuel tank, beautiful tail unit with the pillion cover. We do have the pillion seat as well. Again, completely standard. We've got the standard number plate hanger and indicators, a standard and unmarked exhaust, and again the right side of the tank. The flies come extra. I have to say this video might not be as long as some of ours because it's Friday morning. It's already 36 degrees out here, absolutely roasting, and a bike of this quality is enough to get you hot under the collar as it is. Just look how clean this rear swing arm is, and the shock spring and reservoir. The exhaust bracket there, and again down to these absolutely stunning unmarked white wheels. Even the brake discs, as you'll see, there's no corrosion on the brake discs or the retaining bolts. Even the suspension linkages underneath. So we're marketing this bike very much, whilst it would make an absolutely fantastic and usable road bike, we feel that the mileage and the condition of this bike, that we're marketing this bike squarely at somebody that wants to add it to an existing collection, or maybe even start one of their own, because we don't think there'll be too many of these around at this age, in this condition. You'll also notice, and in my opinion, a nicer colour scheme than the K1s and the K2s. This is finished in what they call the Superman colours, or dubbed the Superman colours, because we've actually got these red accents on the nose and the tail, which I think just breaks up the blue and white quite nicely. The K1s and the K2s were all blue and all white, or sorry, all blue and white with no red accents, and actually look a little bit dull in comparison. Again, do some close-ups on the front. If you look at the fork legs, there's no sort of chipping or lacquer peel on the fork legs. And the brake discs themselves, no corrosion or rust. And I'm not sure if you can see, but we can even show you in there the exhaust downpipes. And again, the unmarked paintwork on these front wheel. The right hand fairing. And again, we can show you in there too the exhaust downpipes and the front of the engine, back of the radiator. It's an absolute cracker. Now, having said that, with the interests of integrity, I think it's important to note that there is the very odd, very minor blemish, because it has been used, but arguably that does lend itself to being an honest and original bike. You might be able to see just a couple of stone chips there, tiny little stone chips at the bottom of the nose. Another one there on the decal on the nose. I'm not sure if you'll even see them on the video, but just the odd tiny little stone chip on the leading edge of the front mudguard there. But as I say, for an original 17-year-old bike, the condition's absolutely outstanding. There are also just a couple of little nicks on the left hand fairing there, but I still think that it's probably in the top 10% of any similar bikes that you'd find out there. This is always a good sign as well that there's no signs of the suspension ever being messed around with, no socket or spanner marks on top of the fork adjusters. Okay, let's get her started up for you. As I say, she's got a data tool alarm, so we'll just deactivate the alarm. Ignition on, you'll see her go for a self-check, and you'll see the mileage there is exactly 4,500. Excuse the camera just for a moment, just a little bit of choke. And away we go. Now she certainly won't take too long to warm up on a day like today. As I say, we're already into the mid-30s, so that started from completely cold. Wind that choke off now, and you can see she sits there beautifully smoothly, exactly 1,000 RPM, quiet as a mouse. Give the throttle a quick flip for you. Not that she's particularly loud being a standard bike, but just for the purposes of the video. Got such an urgency to them when you rev these up. They spin up so quickly. It really sounds like it wants to go. So there you have it. Just to summarise, this is a Suzuki GSXR 750Y, 2000 on a Y with 4,500 miles. She's been serviced 3 times within the 4,500 miles, most recently by ourselves. Sold very much with the collector market in mind, although she has, within the last 800 miles, been fitted with modern Bridgestone S21 tyres, so ready to ride, but more importantly ready to sit within a collection and be admired for many years to come. We think this is a steal at 4,995. I hope you enjoyed the video.